Okay. My screen is visible, right? Hello?
Yes. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah.
The last session, we have discussed about the various kind of nodes, what is cluster, what is clustered node, what is Hadoop cluster environment, what is Hadoop cluster, and what is Hadoop node. Everything we have discussed. So, in this session today, basically we are going to discuss few of the important concepts. First of all, what are the different stages project? In a typical Hadoop project, there are three different phases. One is data ingestion layer. The second one is data analytics layer. Third one is our reporting layer, data visualization layer. Okay. Typical Hadoop project. There are majorly broadly, or let's say there are three different layers are available. We're going to divide the entire project. Then basically you can divide in three different layers. The first layer is data ingestion layer. The second one is data analytics layer. The third one is data visualization layer or reporting layer. See it is a diagrammatic way. Then one is these are the three different layers. Let's say this one data ingestion. Let's say this one analytics. And then data or reporting. reporting layer. So what happened? Data ingestion layer means there are different source systems are available from where we are going to get the data into our Hadoop environment, this environment, and let me data ingestion layer. What happened? There are different source systems. Might be that source system might be using mainframe system or might be from any RDBMS system like Oracle databases, MySQL databases, Sybase, or any other database system, or they are generating some log files you are getting, or any live stream data, or any transactional data, whatever may be the systems will be there. From there, going to get the data, bring the data into the HDFS system where our Hadoop environment, where in this layer, Hadoop environment, we get all the data from different source systems and bring into this particular environment, Hadoop environment, and do our required calculations or transformation or any kind of operation for this data. Process that into the downstream application so that in the downstream application it is used for the data visualization, reporting layer. What are the different tools are used in the data ingestion layer? Let's see. Last session already clearly the data I already in the last session I have already discussed what are the ecosystem tools that are available, which are they are specific to specific kind of tasks or requirement. The ecosystem tools are utilized. So in data ingestion layer, basically we can use Scoop. Scoop used to transfer data from any RDBMS system to environment. Then Flume. There is a system called Flume used to get the data from any live stream. Get any live stream data. Get any live stream data into our Hadoop framework. Okay, framework or environment. Thing is same. Okay. So then SFTP or SFTP command or some things can use that one to get the data from any SFTP command. It used to get the data from NFS mount point to our Hadoop environment. There are the three different ways we are going to get the data. Okay. Other certain third-party tools also there, and other certain jobs also there. Which you can or API are there. Get the data into the Hadoop framework, Hadoop environment, Hadoop framework. So what is the need of getting the data into Hadoop framework? Hadoop is not good enough to process the data outside of the Hadoop framework? Is there any way we can get the data, we can process the data that is stored out of the scope of Hadoop framework? So we cannot process the data until unless it is a part of Hadoop framework. That means it is a part of HDFS. But as you know, Hadoop is basically contain two major components, two core component. One is HDFS, another one is map reduce. HDFS for storage, map reduce for processing. So whenever we are going to process any data within a Hadoop framework, then that data must be the part of HDFS only. Otherwise, we are not able to process those set of data. Okay. So the data, maybe we are getting the data from the any RDBMS system, data we are getting from the any live stream, any log file, data that is generated from the any log file like this is from NFS mount point. So there are different systems are there, various types of data are there. From different environment, there are different kind of tools and API we can use and get the data. Finally, we'll get the data into the HDFS. That is nothing but the data ingestion. The way or the way or the process that is utilized to get the data into HDFS is known as the data ingestion. Okay. What do you know by data ingestion? Are you able to understand? Ultimately, whatever the source system may be. Okay. Ultimately, we need data. At the end of the day, we need the data into our HDFS environment because Hadoop does not start processing on a data that is available outside of the HDFS file system. So whenever we are going to perform any kind of operation on a data must be pushed into the HDFS system only. Must be the part of HDFS. And this term is known as data locality. What do you mean by data locality? Data locality generally refers to that whenever we are going to perform any calculation, whenever we are going to perform any operation on a data set, then we must make sure that the data should must be a part of HDFS file system. HDFS. And this is known as HDFS. This is known as data locality. Okay. Whenever we are going to perform any operation on a data set, then we must make sure that the data must be a part of HDFS only. That means whenever we are going to perform a operation on a data set, that data must push the data into the HDFS file system or make sure that the data will be available in HDFS only. Then only we can start processing in the Hadoop framework. Okay, HDFS never ever start any. We cannot perform any kind of operation in Hadoop framework till unless the data will be a part of HDFS file system. That is called data ingestion. Data ingestion means getting the data from different source system and makes it available in the HDFS file system is known as data ingestion. Okay. Getting the data from different sources, make it available our HDFS is known as data ingestion. Okay, tool and technique that is used to get the data from different sources and make it available in HDFS is known as data ingestion. Okay, so this is the first and foremost step in any Hadoop project. Okay, then next our data analytics.
Hello.
Data analytics.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Actually, suppose you told that used to transport data from any RDBMS system to Hadoop framework, correct?
Mhm.
So in the RDBMS database,
Mhm.
the data should be in the table format, correct?
Yes.
And it will retrieve in the like file format, or how to retrieve and push in HDFS?
We'll get the data. There is a tool called Scoop. By Scoop, we are going to get those data. Okay, those data in the file format itself, and it is going to load into the respective file only. Okay, because in HDFS system, everything is a file only. Okay, so we'll see that one. Don't worry for that one, because there is a separate component called Scoop. We are going to learn how to get the how we are going to get the data from Oracle database or MySQL database and put into our HDFS file system.
One small doubt: what is NFS mount point?
NFS mount point means, suppose in NFS mount point means how in your project how we are getting the data.
In project, suppose in Unix directory, one inbox
Yes.
directory is there.
Correct, right?
On that
Some SFTP command. You are using some SFTP or FTP command to get the data.
Yes.
So that is
Yes.
NFS mount point. NFS mount point means it is it's a file system in the Unix environment. All those data in the store as a tree structure. Right? So what happened? Whenever we are going to get those data into our Hadoop environment, then this network file system. Okay. NFS means network file system. Network file system, there is no other means of getting data. You need to get the data through SFTP command. Okay, whenever you are using C++, at point of time what happened, and there is some NFS mount point they are using. So we are getting such kind of data into our Hadoop framework, then we are going to use the NFS mount point. Okay. So what happened? The upstream system, wherever the people will be there, they are going to place your data in a certain directory, and from there itself what happened? You need to copy those data to your system. Send the data into your file system.
Yeah, got it.
Whatever I am telling today, whatever I am explaining today, that is going to a practical analysis in tomorrow. Okay. So whatever I'm going at this point of time, I don't think I'm going to explain these things. So much things I can able to explain you, because there's some practical implementation will be there. Okay. So you need to understand. You need to wait for that time to understand how we are going to implement Scoop and get the data from DBMS system to our HDFS system. That once that point will come, then definitely you can able to understand 100%. At this point, you need to understand one thing: data ingestion. What do you mean by data ingestion? Data ingestion means you need to get the data from different source system and get into our HDFS, make it available in our HDFS system. Because in Hadoop framework, until unless the data is not available in a HDFS, you are not going to perform any kind of operation on top of that particular data set. Okay.
Yes.
So this is a different way you can get the data. If it is stream data, live streaming data, then you can use the Flume component. Kafka also using these days. Here it is the network file system is there. From there to get the data, we are using the SFTP command. Okay. So there are different ways you can get the data.
Yeah.
So okay. Then data analytics. In data analytics layer, what are the different components that we can use? Certain components are used. One is MapReduce, used to process the data. MapReduce, then Hive, then Peak, then Spark. These are all the components ecosystem tool that is used to process the data once data is available in HDFS. Okay. These tools are primarily used to get the data from different sources and push into a HDFS file system. Once data is stored in the HDFS file system, we're going to perform analytics. Analytics means we're going to perform different kind of operation, transformation, or any kind of calculation over the data, do some modification, add some any kind of customization we are going to do, process those data into our final layer. Final layer is visualization layer, reporting layer. Reporting layer. Reporting layer means whatever the data we have processed, those data it will going to store in some kind of house or some kind of storage system. From there, it is going to generate the report by using different kind of W, view, or then Power BI, and then so many are there. MSBI, so many tools are there. Okay, the reporting approach. Digital report, everything, so many are there. So these are the three different phases available in a big data project. Okay. Question on this? Doubt?
My side, no.
Okay.
One doubt. What are the reporting like? These four tools are used for getting the report, na?
Reporting layers, there are so many tools are available, but depending upon the project, they're going to use either Tableau or ClickView or ClickSense, Power BI, MSBI. So many tools are there. Okay, MATLAB, IBM Cognos, so many are there. So I'm giving the few of the example.
Okay. Reporting like different reporting are there. Like you told, na, crystal reporting or something. So.
Crystal report, that is also a reporting tool only.
Okay.
Crystal report.
Okay.
Because finally data, what is the need of data? Basically generate a report. What kind of report? Report may be pie chart, or any kind of there are tabular format report and a PDF report. Different format of reports are there. So the requirement for the profit and loss calculation report or monthly sales report, monthly order report. different kind of reports will be there. Okay. So all these reports they are going to generate. This report will be generated via one tool, right? We need some tool to format our report. That is nothing but
Okay.
Tableau, ClickView, Power BI. Okay, these are the different reports. But a big data engineer is mostly worked on this page only. Okay.
Okay, till data.
Data analytics.
Data analytics.
And major of the work you are going to involve in this area, data analytics only. Okay. We'll see slowly everything. Okay. Now I'm going to move to another concept. So big data, Hadoop, migration process. Okay. Let's see. For explain you all this, I need a help of a diagram. Okay. Let me draw one diagram. Basically, one is okay. This is my HDFS file system and reduce. Let's see. Okay. One is HDFS file system. Another one is map reduce. Okay. There are two things in a Hadoop environment. One is HDFS file system is there. Another one is reduce. Okay. So let's say I have a system. Suppose let's say so one project. Let's say one customer Oracle. They are using let's say we get confused otherwise. Let's say one client is NZ. They are using Oracle database. Oracle database. And another one is using for processing, let's say Java. Okay. Another client is there. They're basically using, let's say, Deutschland. Okay. They are using okay. They are basically using one NFS mount point. And storing. For processing, they are using, suppose, let's say, C and C++. Let's say another client is there, basically using another client, let's say Microsoft. Let's say they are using MySQL DB, and using, let's say, .NET. .NET for processing. One more client, let's say, manage score. Or any, yeah, score. Let's say they are using data. Okay. They are using, let's say, again, Java processing. One more client, let's say, one more client, let's say they are using let's say Netflix. Okay. They are using, suppose, Netflix. Okay. Let's say they are using uh, type lock. Another one is, let's say they are using also .NET. So what is our data locality rule says? According to data locality, we mean that getting the data from different sources from the source to HDFS file system. Data locality design rule says that whenever we are going to process any data in our Hadoop framework, we make sure that the data must be available in our HDFS file system. Okay. So, if you are using any RDBMS, what is the tool to get the data into our HDFS file system?